There's no time. Take this. Keep it safe. Information. The Ice Reach Coven. At work in the west. Just need more proof. Go! They're coming! Don't trust them. Only Lyris. She's...
You there! What did that fugitive tell you? Who are you? Another spy? What did this lying Easterner say to you? Assisting a fugitive is a crime in Hafingar Hold. Unless you want to find out how we deal with traitors and spies, tell me what he said to you. Lucky for you. If he had told you any seditious lies and you decided to keep them from us, you'd have been in real trouble. Don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong. Solitude doesn't take kindly to instigators or strangers. And mark my words, you'd rather not get on the wrong side of the High King's Guard. Go on. Just remember, I'll be keeping an eye on you.
Stay back! I'll do it! I'll stab you! I mean it! One step closer, and I'll stick you like a hawker! I don't know any Brondold. That is what I told the guards, and that is what I'm telling you. I don't want any more trouble. You make me stab you, and it's my word against yours. Dead? Stone's mercy! And I'm next, aren't I? I promise. I don't know anything. I won't make any trouble. I'll disappear. I don't even like it here. You'll never see me again. He did not tell me a lot. Said he was tracking some bad people. Asked me to keep an eye out for any unusual comings and goings. He'd come by now and then with a sweet roll and a few coins for my trouble. He was nice. The last time we spoke, it was about the men with the job postings. A pair of wolves in sheep's clothing. Trying to blend in, but still off around the edges. Same with their horses. Sheared mountain mares. Come from the Reach, I wager.
Another day, another infernal storm.
I have a unique opportunity for scholastic research today.
Vestige? You're a sight for sore eyes. Feels like it's been ages since, well, you know. I'd invite you for a drink, but I'm about to present myself to royalty just as soon as my contact arrives. He's what? Oh, damn it. Queen Gerhild will be here at any moment. Look, Her Highness is expecting to talk to me and my contact. I need you to pretend to be that contact, or this will go very badly. We can exchange intimate details of our lives later. Right now, just know that the safety of all of Skyrim, maybe even all of Tamriel, depends on how this meeting goes. So follow my lead and be on your best behavior with Her Highness.
Lyris is so intimidating.
Lyris,
How can you stay so calm around someone so...
Your reputation is known
powerful?
even here in the West. Is this one of your famed companions?
No, but I assure you my partner is one of the Skald King's best.
I am Gerhild, Queen of Skyrim. Allow me to welcome you on behalf of our kingdom, our city, and our hold. Who might you be? The letter that preceded your arrival said an attempt was made on the Skald King's life. It indicated that High King Svargrim would be next. My husband took that as an accusation and a threat. He will not meet with you, but I will hear you out. Have you anything that would persuade my husband? It will take some substantial evidence to convince High King Svargrim to heed the words of the hated Yoren, the Skald King. Reachman transgressions will not be enough for Svargrim to accept outside help. He's a prideful man, and the bad blood between him and Yoren runs deep. I will speak on your behalf, but you and Lyris will need to bring me proof he cannot ignore. Thank you for alerting me to this situation. I am eager to see what else you uncover. I will do what I can, but be as discreet as possible. If you run afoul of my husband, he won't hesitate to return you to Yoren, and not necessarily in one piece.
You handled that better than I expected. Now what in Mara's name happened to Brondald? Damn. Lucky thing he found you. Brondald was supposed to get the lay of the land before I got here. Without his information, my work for Yoren the Skald King could be over before it begins. What did he give you? Hand it over. Smugglers and Reachmen up to illicit business. Nothing unusual there, but Brondald thought it could be connected to the Coven. I'm short a good investigator, and you stepped into the role easily enough. Can I count on you to help me with this? Brondald mentioned some locals we should have a talk with. A snitch named Grega, who likes to gamble in back alleys, and an orc named Mog, who frequents the Lonely Troll Inn. Let's find them and see what they can tell us. Castle Dower is a monument to the Western spirit. Stony and cheerless. Maybe the new tower will liven up the place.
Hey! Don't step on the dice! There a reason you're interrupting our game, Horkface? Don't know any Brondald. Don't know you. Either way, I got nothing to tell you. Get lost. I'm on a winning streak. Dead? That's a new one. Nothing Kassala usually moves through port is worth killing over. You didn't hear it from me, but she's the one picking up those shipments. Her warehouse is down on the docks. You want to know more? Go ask her.
You must be Mog. I have questions.
Questions? Happy to oblige. Buy a few rounds and let's chat.
You're going to answer me, Orc, or...
Hey! Nobody intimidates my friends.
Princess Savannah.
Who gave you the right to walk in here and bully my friend? Did my father send you? Because he doesn't like Mog. But I like Mog. Mog doesn't care that I'm a princess, and it doesn't matter to me that Mog's a scoundrel. If my father didn't send you, why are you threatening my friend? Smelly bastards. Cheap, too. Wouldn't buy us a drink. They hung their flyers and left without saying a word. Then, a different smelly bastard showed up to sign on workers. He was a charmer, though. His breeches fit well. And he was handsome. Not a Nord. Breton, maybe. I didn't really listen to what he was saying. A half-dozen workers left with him. Off to the Drudok Mountains or someplace. He hasn't been back since.
Let's talk outside, partner. So we've got a mysterious Breton possibly working with Reachmen, recruiting workers for some unknown purpose. Plus there's a smuggler hiding unknown contraband in a warehouse down by the docks. I say we deal with the smuggler first. We know where to find her, and we more or less know what she's up to. And if the two are connected, maybe the smuggler can help us narrow our search for the Breton. Ready to visit Kassalla's warehouse?
Aegis
Kassalla's
needs your
warehouse.
help.
Only
Sea
one
giants
sentry.
and vampires are
Let's try
everywhere.
not to cause a scene.
Private property. Get lost. Wait. A half-giant? Is that Lyris Titanborn? Blood and Blade. Everyone knows Lyris Titanborn. What a woman. She's even larger than I imagined. No wonder she fought Swordmaster Sai Sahan to a draw. Wait, is he here too? Until Kassala returns, I'd be happy to keep fair Lyris company in her stead. Alas, Kassala doesn't allow visitors when she isn't here to conduct business. But we can wait out here. Do you think Lyris would autograph my ancestral scabbard? It would mean so much to my son. When I have one. Do you know if Lyris is betrothed? Oh, thank you, thank you! You don't know how much this means to me.
I don't know what you said to him, but this is our chance. Try the lock. See what's in those marked crates. I'll watch the door.
I knew whoever was poking through our shipments would return. Brought muscle this time, I see.
More than you. Care to try me?
I'll pass. I just want to know who's been meddling in my business. I had a feeling it wasn't just an opportunistic thief trying to steal my cargo. What are you after? A plot against the High King? Involving plundered antiquities from Hammerfell? Preposterous. I'm simply facilitating a transaction between treasure hunters and a rich collector. So, who am I paying the bribe to? You or the High King? Gimme that! Tribal crafts my arse. I told that son of a skeever I don't deal in arcane goods, especially ones from the Reach. Nothing but sorrow comes from such business. This isn't cursed, is it? No name, just instructions and gold. Shipments come in, I make sure no one looks too closely and wait for a pickup. Never see same face twice. Last time it was a smooth-talking Breton with Nord laborers in tow. You want more? I need assurances. They're taking the cargo to an abandoned lodge in the foothills north of Solitude. Occasionally used it myself when the city guard was being thorough. Want to catch them? Start there. If that's all, we're leaving. I'm not losing my head over this.
Brondald had good instincts. We're definitely onto something. Our mystery buyer is hiring locals to haul these urns and reach fetishes out of the city. But for what purpose? Without a doubt, the Coven's attack on Yoren involved a ritual. Why hire locals, though? Seems like an unnecessary risk. And how does the Breton figure in? I suppose using different people draws less attention. Something doesn't feel right. No reason not to. Head there while I circle around from the other direction in case they're already on the move. Just be careful. I'd rather not lose another partner before we actually figure out what we're up against. Give your sentry my best, and tell him I owe him an autograph.
A straggler. I have more than I need, so I'll just feast on you.
Over here, partner. All I found were these Reachmen stalking the pass. Decided they'd rather die than talk, so I obliged. They don't look like they're from Ice Reach, but they are wearing the Coven's medallions. Anyway, did you find the lodge? Kilcreath? The temple to Meridia? Why would the Ice Reach Coven target a local Daedra cult? We're running out of time. I'll head back to Solitude and try again to warn High King Svargrim. You go to Kilcreath Temple and alert Meridia's priests. I'll meet you there as soon as I can. You'll be going up against the Coven by yourself. Warn the priests. If there's an opportunity to safely stop or delay the ritual, by all means. but don't take any unnecessary chances. I still don't want to lose another partner. Good luck.
A disaster has befallen Kilcreath Temple. Don't be alarmed. I mean you no harm. But there are Harrow fiends swarming around Kilcreath Temple who do. Head back to safety before they find you. I'm sorry, but you're too late. An unnatural storm struck the temple, and now the entire area is overrun by vampires and Harrow fiends. Harrow fiends are feral vampires, a byproduct of the unnatural Harrow storm. As for me, I am Fenorian of House Ravenwatch. I came here on the trail of remains stolen from a mass grave in Bankurai. They were shipped to Solitude in ancient urns. Yes, I've run into the Coven as well. The urns and the stolen remains play a part in a ritual to summon the storms. If you're willing, I could use your assistance. I need to finish my investigation of the site to see what else I can learn. I could use your help to examine the strange pikes erected around the temple. Harrow fiends and vampires roam the area, making it difficult to get close. Hence the need for your assistance. You see, I'm not that confident in my combat prowess. Look! A priest of Meridia! Maybe they can tell us more about what happened at the temple. An alchemical residue. That should prove useful. It's depleted. Just ordinary sticks and rope now. Interesting.
Stow your weapons, my friend.
Can you
We've
feel the
won.
lingering energy? That's Daedric, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm in your service.
These depleted witch pikes expended a lot of power to summon the Harrow Storm. Now they're just ordinary sticks, but even in this state, they tell us much about the ritual that flowed through them. I'm sure now that the pikes play a significant role as focal points for the storm ritual. The prepared pikes are depleted as the ritual runs its course, but I sensed lingering energy, including a Daedric taint. And we found an intriguing residue. It's the remains of an alchemical poultice that was spread over the pikes. Smells like rotting fungus, doesn't it? With a little study, I should be able to identify each ingredient in its makeup. Then I can begin to understand the ritual. One other thing I want to check first. I noticed the pilgrims leading a cart away from the temple right before the storm hit. Coven members could have tried to slip away among the innocents. The cart should be along the road south of the temple. Strange. They're alive, but unresponsive. Check the crates and see if they contain the smuggled items. Did you find anything of interest in the crate? I can't believe anyone knowingly involved would have let themselves be exposed to the storm. Perhaps the pilgrims were tricked into transporting the crate. Or maybe it was slipped into their cart. Yes, of course. Though I fear what we may find there. The temple was clearly at the center of the storm. Regardless, there's still a lot we don't know about the effects of this ritual. Observing the target area could offer new insights. These are temple priests and pilgrims. It seems the storm killed them. I'll need to perform more tests. But from what we've seen, I believe the storm affects mortals in 3 distinct ways. It kills them, transforms them into harrow fiends, or leaves them mindless. I suppose I'd say it harrowed those poor pilgrims. I want to learn more about the ritual, and how it produces the harrow storms. And I need to confirm my theories about the storm's effects. I'll start by examining the residue from the witch pike to identify the components used to power the ritual. My alchemical equipment. It's extremely fragile, so I left it in my pack. I hid it among a copse of trees once I saw all the vampires and harrow fiends. Once I retrieve it, I can find a place to begin my analysis.
That's close enough, Reach.
I'm not part of the coven!
Stand Darcy you safely to your rest.
Looks like I made it back just in time. This place is crawling with vampires, and that one was about to make a meal out of you. House Ravenwatch. I've heard of them, but he's a long way from Rivenspire. Well, if you're willing to trust a vampire, I suppose I can too. I spotted a coven witch. If we hurry, we might be able to catch her. On the cliff overlooking the temple, calls herself Sister Embrit. I was going to rush her, but I wanted to make sure you hadn't run afoul of any of these monsters first. No offense, Fen. Come on, if we're lucky, the witch is still up there.
Perhaps I could question the witch before you introduce her to your impressive axe blade?
Needs refinement.
Kill her before she can summon another storm.
Willing sacrifices. How nice.
Sacrifice? I'd rather give you my axe, witch.
take her prisoner. No matter. I found something. This way?
Go with your vampire friend. I'm gonna look around here.
Do you see? These are the same as the urns smuggled from Bankarai. They didn't just shatter. They exploded. I can sense traces of magicka clinging to the shards that matched the energy used in the storm ritual. These other fragments, though. All this rubble scattered around didn't just come from these urns. The texture and patterns are different. They appear to have used the funerary dust in the urns to summon the Harrow Storms. But I'm not sure what was inside the larger vessels. Look at the shape of the fragments. They come from a hollow receptacle of some sort. Something at least as tall as you. Perhaps larger. Just another piece of the puzzle. Maybe when I analyze the witchpike residue, an answer will suggest itself. Thank you, but no. I try to avoid large population centers. The temptation. You understand. I'll find someplace nearby, but out of the way where I can set up my equipment and work undisturbed. I'll send word when I have something to report. I met a clever woman who lives in the bog near Morthal. Old Mjolnir's a dying breed among the Nords, a practitioner of the old magic. The locals both admire and fear her. If anyone can help me untangle the Coven's ritual, it's her.
So, what did your vampire friend discover? Reach witches summoning magical storms to create feral vampires? That's horrible, but to what purpose? Well, that's the next puzzle to solve. First, we need to get this information to the Queen. Here. This was for Brondel, but it's yours now. Queen Gerhild needs to hear what we discovered at Kilcreath Temple. Hopefully that will be enough for her to get us an audience with High King Svargrim. The Queen seemed reasonable. She'll believe us. As for Svargrim, who can tell? I haven't met the man, but everything I've heard describes him as prideful, arrogant, and hard-headed. Even with the Queen's help, there's no guarantee. I'd like to knock down the palace door, grab him by the throat, and shake him until he listens. That would probably start a war, though, and Yoren specifically asked me to avoid that. For now, let's bring our evidence to Queen Gerhild. If there's anything else we need to discuss, let's get it out of the way now, before we return to Solitude. If there's anything... Hey, you and Fëanorian came to that conclusion, not me. Still, it makes as much sense as anything. As to why, I have no idea. This connection to vampires, though, that's troubling. We should keep Fen away until we get into Svargrim's good graces. No, I need you, and you've already been seen working with me. What I don't want to do is risk bringing an unknown factor into the equation, especially not an unknown vampire when vampires are clearly working with the Icereach Coven. A clever woman? Out here? Nords are extremely distrustful of magic, especially Nords from Western Skyrim. I'm surprised the people of Morthal tolerate her presence. If anyone can help Fen figure out the Coven's ritual, though, it would be her. Our priority remains getting an audience with High King Svargrim. We need to convince him that the Icereach Coven is a threat to his kingdom, and get him to help us stop them. Let's return to Solitude and present our findings to the Queen. Queen's attendants. Let's get inside.
Be strong, Svanna.
Mother! No! No!
Svanna, your father, the kingdom. Watch over.
Mother! No! You can't die! Mother!
Sire, the assassins might return. You must get to somewhere safe.
Have Yoren's lackeys come to gloat?
We came here to warn you, Your Highness.
And yet my wife lies dead.
If you had listened to us...
Like she did. If I determine Yoren had a hand in this, there will be war! Someone take care of my wife!
Father, please.
Gods, what a disaster. The Queen's been assassinated and Svargrim still refuses to listen to reason. We need to find a way to set things right. Good question. The guards should have been able to handle a run-of-the-mill assassin. This could be connected to the Icereach Coven. In fact, I'd wager my axe that it is. Look around. See if you can find any indication of how the assassin got in and out of the palace so easily. Maybe even turn up something that ties the murderer to the Coven. I'll make sure the princess is all right. Svanna's taking this pretty hard. I suppose most daughters feel close to their mothers. Not that I'd know, I never knew my mother. Sorry, don't mind me. Did you find anything that might lead us to the assassin? We've seen these medallions before. On the Reachman near Kilcreath. And I saw them on the witches in Icereach. The assassin definitely seems to be in league with the Coven. But can we get Svargrim to believe that and accept the danger he's in? Svargrim has every right to be angry. He watched his wife die right before his eyes. But he's the High King. He doesn't have the right to be stupid. Time to make Svargrim confront some hard truths. Come on, the Sword Thane led the king upstairs. We need to see the High King.
I should think not. The High King is in mourning. He's not to be disturbed.
The Queen's wasn't the only life lost today. Now get out of our way.
Go right in.
Your Highness, please. Your kingdom is in grave danger.
My queen's blood hasn't yet cooled, and already Yoren's lackeys hound me.
We have proof that the Coven threatening your kingdom is responsible for the Queen's death. Show him, partner.
Does Yoren think me so weak that he believes his half-giant can twist my arm and fill my head with lies? I am not so easily duped, outsider. Reach witches. They pose no threat. We've beaten back those wild dogs time and time again, while our brothers to the east bow down to a poetry-writing milk drinker. I will not be lectured on such matters by the likes of you. Tales told around campfires to scare the children. Storms happen here all the time, and none of them spawn monsters. The last spy who spoke of such things, well, he no longer speaks of such things. I am the Wolf of Solitude. I know my enemies. You dishonor my wife's name by letting it pass through your treacherous lips. Away with you! And pray I don't find evidence that ties you to the Queen's murder. That would not go so well for you.
We'll leave you to your grief, Your Highness.
Is it true? Mother told me you were working for her before she...
I'm sorry, Svanna. I would have saved her if I could.
My mother. She told me she gave the mighty Lyris Titanborn an important task. Tell me, what were you doing for my mother? Threat? What threat? And do you think this is why someone came into the palace and killed her? And did
Did you tell my father all this? Is he rallying the soldiers? Alerting the other holds? My father sees Yoren's plots everywhere, even in his spicy venison stew. Well, I won't let my mother's death be for nothing. She trusted you, and so will I. My father be damned. Please, find whoever did this and stop them. I saw the assassin. He moved fast. Unbelievably fast. He leaped through the window after stabbing my mother. By that time, the guards had gathered, so I guess he decided to flee. Try to follow his trail. Someone outside must have seen something.
Come on, Princess. Let's get you somewhere safe.
Don't call me princess. Just Svana. There's nothing noble about me.
My wife. She is like ice. So cold. So pale. All the warmth sucked out of her. There was a commotion at the palace. Everyone was headed that way. Except one man. No, not a man. He wore an eye patch, but his face was bestial. He dragged her along like a bone between a dog's teeth. Then he tossed her aside, pale as snow. He was fast, so fast, ran toward the Hall of the Dead. He never even looked back at what he had done.
Hey, what are you? Guards!
Will you pray with me for these poor souls? Cut down and bound for the Hall of the Dead much too soon. It was a monster, a vampire. I have seen such creatures before, but this one wore an eye patch. It moved like a shadow and took sustenance from these poor souls. I called upon Arkay's grace, and the vampire fled before his sacred presence. Toward the main gate, I pray the guard finished off the depraved creature before it took another innocent life.
You again? Didn't I warn you about putting your nose where it doesn't belong? A vampire? I don't know what you're talking about. But whoever it was tore out Senolia's throat and fled through the gate before I could stop him. What do you know about all this? And why is it any of your business? The Queen's dead? What about the High King? He'll have my head for letting the assassin slip away. Yeah. It's not like I opened the gate and let him slink off. The real problem's at the palace. No more questions. I've got to secure the gate and take care of poor Senolia.
This is Svargrim's fault. He should have heeded us from the start. Damn Svargrim and his distrust of Yoren. How many more of his people have to die before he accepts the truth and lets us help him? Forget that for now. Tell me about the assassin. Did anyone get a good look at the murderer? That would explain the assassin's swiftness and ability to escape so easily. We knew the Ice Reach Coven had vampires on their side, but using them so blatantly. Anything else to report? Well then, time to fight fire with fire. They've got evil vampires, and we've got a friendly one. Let's find out exactly what your friend Fen knows about vampire clans in the area. Where did you tell me? Right, to research the ritual. Go find them and see what you can learn. I'll stay with Svanna. Bring her up to speed on everything we've uncovered. We're going to need her to get the High King to trust us. And I'm calling him Fen. It's simpler.
could be helpful.
Welcome to the middle of nowhere, my friend. You must be freezing. Warm yourself by the fire, and tell me how your audience with the High King went. A bold move, even for them. Old Mjolnir and I have been comparing notes, and we've made some progress studying the Harrowstorm ritual. What happened to your large friend with the axe, by the way? We knew that vampires were working with the Coven, and old Mjolnir and I can say with certainty that the feral Harrow Fiends are byproducts of Harrowstorms. You think the assassin was one of the vampires in league with the Coven? An eye patch? That's uncommon. And this insignia, I've seen it before. It's the same as the symbol that decorates the urns smuggled out of Bankurai. If it belongs to a vampire bloodline, I'm not familiar with it. I suggest you ask Mjolnir.
Local wisdom dictates that only the very brave or the very foolish seek the counsel of vampires and old crones. Which are you, I wonder? Well, out with it. What can old Mjolnir do for you? A grim talisman. It bears an enchantment of some kind, though the symbol upon it holds no significance that I'm aware of. I can help find the owner of this medallion, but I need some specific items to cast such a divination. Bring me the bones of a wolf and a deathbell plant pulled up by its roots. I need the plant alive. The wolf, not so much. With those reagents, I can conjure a divination that will lead you directly to the last person to wear this medallion. Deathbell grows throughout the bog. You should have no trouble acquiring it. Wolves are plentiful in the wilderness around Morthal as well, but be cautious. Many seem afflicted by a strange curse. I would hate for you to run afoul of it.
Oh, nice. What did you find? There's a supply sack just there. That's going to come in handy.
Welcome back. Warm yourself by the fire, and tell me about the reagents I requested. Good, good. Divinations can be fickle. The longer we delay, the colder the trail grows. Let's see if we can catch the scent of your prey. Mother Wolf, hear me. We seek your blessing in our hunt. Lead us to our elusive quarry. Mother Wolf smiles upon you. She has seen fit to join your pack and aid you in your hunt. Mother Wolf has the scent and will lead you to your quarry. I have enchanted the medallion with a divination spell inextricably linked to its owner. Hold it to your nose and breathe deeply. It will guide you along his trail. Mother Wolf will guide you along the way, but you must still complete the hunt and find him. If the assassin eludes you, use the medallion to recover his trail. The wolf is relentless in her pursuit. The question is, will you be like the wolf?
And look! The magic points to the west. What an interesting use of primitive magic. That was clearly your vampire assassin. He even wore an eye patch. It looked like he was at a small camp. And you saw that ball of magicka? It went to the west. That must be where you'll find the camp. Didn't I tell you? The clever woman's magic can be quite exciting. Not my usual process of investigation, but effective just the same. I'll leave old Mjolin to continue our research and follow after you. I want to see how the divination plays out.
Protect us from harm. Looking forward to seeing what you make with that.
He must have been desperate to feed while trying to escape.
Shilwyn depths. They aren't safe, traveler.
Yes, this is definitely the place in the vision. I'll slip past and scout ahead.
We're still standing. Be proud of that.
I'll deal with you next time you fight.
Once again, I prove that I'm a scholar, not a warrior. I don't think he expected another vampire, though. I found the camp. Thought it was deserted, but the assassin must have been hiding in the shadows. He got the drop on me. It had more to do with your arrival than anything I did. Luckily, he left behind his belongings when he departed. I saw a map and some documents over there. Why don't you take a look while I deal with this wound? I didn't get a good look at that before. Mind bringing it over? Let me take a look at what you found. The letters are both addressed to the vampire assassin. Hentok Korb. That's an unusual title. This one gives the order to assassinate the queen, where the language is guarded. The other talks about miners and a final ritual. Very ominous. It looks like a map to a mine in Carthald. It could be the one mentioned in the letter. If that's the target of another Harrowstone ritual, we need to stop it. Head south to the mine. I'll get word to Lyris and have her meet you there. My particular habits aside, one of us needs to find the assassin, and the other needs to alert Lyris Titanborn. I can handle the latter. Besides, I have no intention entering Solitude. A courier should have no trouble picking Lyris out of a crowd.
This is not the end of our tale.
As evil lairs go, I'm not impressed.
I'll take that as a good sign.
We think this old mine is where our assassin fled to? Good a place as any to bury him. The clever woman helped you track the Queen's assassin to his hideout in Chillwind Depths. He got away, but left behind evidence that the Coven's planning another Harrow Storm in this mine, and we're going to wreck those plans. I miss anything? Good. Less chance of them scurrying away if they think they have the advantage. I'm tired of chasing these rats through the shadows. Are you ready to end this?
Is Lyris seeing someone?
These tunnels better be dug on the large
You know what?
size.
Don't answer that. Forget I asked. Where were we going next?
Scaffolding. Let's follow it down.
Careful. The structure doesn't appear stable.
Relax. It'll take more than a rickety structure. I think there's a cavern up ahead.
Actually, I was more concerned for my own well-being.
Just like the old
But
legends.
if you insist.
Blackreach.
Blackreach. So the legends are true. But why is there a town down here? My research into Skyrim included the legends of Blackreach, of course, but I never expected to see it. It's massive. That letter you found in the Assassin's hideout, it mentioned a mining consortium in the darkness below. Could this be the place? Right. If the Assassin is part of a vampire clan working with the Coven, I couldn't imagine a better hiding place than this land of constant night. My guess is that most of the miners have no idea what they've gotten themselves into. You and Lyris should. It's our best lead for finding the assassin. But if the miners have even an inkling of vampire activity down here, my presence might confuse the issue. I'm sure I can find something to do while you investigate the town. I'll keep out of sight and check the surrounding area while you and Lyris investigate the town. Meet me on the far side of town when you're finished, and we'll compare notes.
This is impressive. And that's coming from someone who's been to Oblivion and back. Can't believe there's someone living down here. But at least it gives us a place to start looking. No, but all the evidence you found suggests he's down here somewhere. Let's go see what the miners can tell us. But be ready for anything. This place has ambush written all over it. Let's split up. Take a look around. Ask some questions. If the assassin passed through that ramshackle town, maybe someone saw him. Call out if you run into trouble, but don't make a move until we're all back together.
Is Lyris seeing someone that you know of? You know what? Don't answer that. Forget I asked. Where were we going next?
Watch your back.
What an exciting case! I simply must write down this new development.
Focus on the task at hand. There will be time for that later.
Might be something useful in that sack over there. Good quality there. Oh, lucky. Stendarr must be watching.
Go bother someone else, Hawker. If I don't finish this by the end of my shift, the Overseer will have my hide. What do I look like? The town crier? If the Overseer wanted us to be observant, he wouldn't have blindfolded us when he brought us here. You weren't? Up to this point,
The Overseer and his wife have been extra careful about keeping the exact location of this mine and the mining town a secret. What makes you special, I wonder? Well, I haven't seen anyone like that. Now pick up a shovel and help me, or hork off. I can't afford to lose this job.
You must be new to Dusktown. You've still got that look. Well, get settled in. You won't be allowed topside again until you complete your contract. So you might as well get comfortable. A prisoner? No. Why would you think that? But we did sign a contract. Promised to stay until the work was done and never breathe a word. Otherwise, being a bonded miner with the Bitterblade Mining Consortium is a lucrative opportunity. Can't say that I have. And I haven't seen any ghosts or monsters either, come to think of it. Even though the rest of the town can't stop talking about them. Anyway, welcome aboard and good mining. Oh, don't let the rumors scare you. Miners are a superstitious lot. And being this far underground can play havoc with your senses. If you need to know anything else about Dusktown or working for the Bitterblade Mining Consortium, just ask.
What a waste of time. These people have no clue as to what's going on down here. I wonder if being stupid was part of their service contract. Did you turn up anything? Just because no one saw him doesn't mean he wasn't here. Let's talk to Fen before we start turning this place inside out. Maybe he's had better luck. Right, skulking in the shadows. Lead the way. I'm right behind you.
Walk off! Over here!
You're just in time. I spotted the vampire with the eye patch. He met with the Coven Witch, who immediately ordered her lackeys to place witch pikes around the area. With arcane phenomena, anything's possible. If we hurry, we can stop this Harrowstone before it causes any damage. You and Lyris should split up. We need to destroy all of the witch pikes. I'll track the Queen's assassin and the Coven Witch. You focus on stopping the Harrowstorm. I'll find you after that, and we'll confront the vampire and the witch together.
Move. You take the east side, I'll take the west. Then meet in the middle.
Another find for your pack.
You stopped the Harrowstone before it could even get started. Now to deal with the vampire and the witch. Well done, my friend. Before the witch could even begin her ritual, I saw the magicka disappear like the flame of a snuffed candle. The witch and the vampire assassin fled to Coggentham's, a dwarven ruin. We can deal with them in there. Time is of the essence. You get to the ruin, I'll find Lyris and we'll meet you there. It's southeast of Dusktown. If you get there before us, go inside and guard the entrance until we arrive.
unnatural witch storms. Nothing but reach stories, mark my words.
I don't think we're the first to camp here. Lots of fresh tracks.
Get some rest. The gods will watch over us.
Looking forward to seeing what you make with that. Move your feet! Get moving!
Careful. I sense the presence of other vampires. Harrow fiends. The result of the ritual was stopped, so they must have brought it from someplace else.
Chase? They kept you long enough. Sister Sada shall revive the Exa.
That's for Queen Gurhild.
Now we need to find Sister Thada. You listen in. I'll unlock the door.
And be reborn.
The Ashen Lord commands it. And so we live once more, Orfra.
Alive again? How?
You have the Ice Reach Coven to thank for that, werewolf.
Using my recipes, witch.
I meant no disrespect to Exarch Singalis.
We're being watched, brother.
Next time, Thada, the Ashen Lord, will expect more than the restoration of a single reliquary. Now deal with the intruders, or I'll toss you to the Harrow fiends.
Come out, little skeevers. Come out and play with Sister Sarda.
How many of your sisters am I gonna have to kill before you give up?
Is it you who's killed my dear sisters? Our vengeance will plague you beyond the grave.
Standing. Be proud of that.
for the pyre. Let's go after the other two. Damn, lost them. Damn it. The vampire and the werewolf are long gone. They call themselves Singalis and Ulfra. And they had an unusual rank or title, Exarch. I wonder what that means. Yeah, I heard. No idea who or what that is, though. Maybe Fen can make sense of what we saw down here. In the meantime, I'm gonna head back inside. I want to get a better look at those stone husks that were left behind. While Fen and I examine that ritual site more closely, you should return to Solitude and inform Svanna that her mother's assassin has been taken care of. She'd want to know. More than that, she deserves to know. I left Svanna back at the Lonely Troll under the care of that drunken orc Mog. Unless he ignored my rather stern warnings, he should be keeping the princess there. I'll meet you back in the city once we finish here.
Lyris is so intimidating.
You saw it too, right? That werewolf shed that statue like a snake sheds its skin. Was she inside that stone husk the whole time, waiting to be awakened? Or did the ritual somehow summon her into that vessel? There's a lot I still don't understand. A ritual, obviously. Remember the altar at Kilcreath? We found the urn, the reliquary, and shards from a large stone vessel. I think they were the remains of one of those stone husks. I'm not sure how, but it all ties back to the Harrowstorms. I thought the purpose of the Harrowstorms were to create Harrow Fiends, but now I think that's only a byproduct. The storm somehow gathered energy that the witch used to summon Ulfra the werewolf. Ulfra seems to think she was brought back to life. I've come to the conclusion that anything is possible where magic is concerned. I'm going to look around with Lyris, then return to Old Mjolnir to finish studying the witchpike residue. Maybe that will help me understand how the ritual works.
Stendarr keep me safe. And my coins in my purse.
Finally! Waiting in a tavern without a drink is maddening. How do other people do it? And Mog hasn't been helpful. His solution to every problem involves a great amount of alcohol. What news of the bastard who murdered my mother? Did you find him? I would have preferred to see him dragged back here for a proper trial and execution. But at least justice has been served. Were you able to determine who was behind the murder? Was it connected to the threat you came to warn my father about? Damn those Reach witches! And damn my father for being so obstinate! But what does the Coven want? Are they planning to kill my father? What else can you tell me about this threat to our kingdom? That's horrible. But there must be more to this than simply turning my people into monsters. Well, I'll do what I can to help you. Mother would have wanted me to. What you've done and discovered will be enough to convince my father. It has to be. You and Lyris risked your lives for my kingdom and have been met with nothing but suspicion. You counted on my mother to be your advocate, to convince my father of the Coven's threat. Now she's gone. I'm no substitute, but I'll speak for you. My father hasn't heard a word I've said since I was old enough to talk. But with Mother gone, someone has to make him see reason. You know, she tried to teach me, but I never listened. I guess maybe I'm more like my father than I care to admit. That makes it even more imperative that he heeds your warning and takes action. All of the holds are in danger. Hoffingar, Hjalmarch, Karthald. My father needs to do something before another storm strikes. Meet me at the Blue Palace, all right? I just need a moment to think about how to approach this. Consider the words to use. My courtly manners are a bit rusty, and I've never been much for diplomacy and fancy speeches. Shore's bones, I could use a drink. Wish me luck, Mog.
I'm supposed to...
You would have me spread my forces across the realm to search for nightmares you dredged up from a bottle?
It's not!
Or should I say, the whispers of eastern vipers tickling your ears?
But Mother!
Enough! Then next you come before me to vomit up your counsel. Make sure it doesn't stink of treason.
Damn the man. He wouldn't let me get a word in edgewise. Mother always knew how to talk to him. Me, not so much. Mother had a way with Father, but she could be just as stubborn. If she wanted something done and he wouldn't oblige, she'd do it herself. Time to take her lessons to heart, I guess. If my father won't take a stand, then I suppose it's up to me. Our kingdom consists of 3 holds. Hoffingar, Hjalmarch, and Karthald. I need to warn them. The Jarls might listen, even if my father won't. I'm the daughter of the High King, after all. Time to start acting like one. Will you come with me? We should visit Jarl Redharn of Hjalmarch first. If we can convince him of the threat, at least his hold can take steps to protect itself. We'll find him in his hall in Morthal. I'll leave word for Lyris with Mog so she'll know where to find us.
Lucky Mog passed along your message.
Why does the Princess of Solitude grace my humble hall with her royal presence? Are you here on behalf of the High King?
I've come to warn you, Jarl Redharn.
Warn me? I already received orders from your father. What more is there to say?
Orders? Right. But you need to prepare the hold's defenses.
When I was a
And what
kid,
must we
on
defend
cold
ourselves
nights,
against
I used
this
to
time?
curl up by the
More
fire in
urns
the
and
Castle
fetishes?
Navier main hall.
Please,
I'd sit
Jarl
there with a
Redharn.
book and fall
Let my
asleep
friend
over the
explain.
pages.
The threat to our holds is worse than you
Simpler
can imagine.
times, eh?
You're not the subject of this realm, and that woman with you. She's the giantess of the East. The High King warned us to beware of packed spies. If Princess Svana trusts you, however, you have my ear. Tell me about this threat. We're not Daedra worshippers. Our blood's hot enough to boil a blizzard. And we've got more pressing concerns than some northern squall. We received Svargrim's orders, promptly ignored them, and immediately ran afoul of a gaggle of Reachmen. The High King sent a royal decree, said to leave any strange objects or fetishes we spotted around the hold alone. They were dangerous, he said. Just so happens we found a few. I had my soldiers destroy them. That's when we encountered the Reachmen. The barbarians reacted poorly when we destroyed the strange witch sticks. We beat them back and chased them into the nearby barrow. But that was the last I heard from my soldiers. Since you dealt with this before, would you investigate the barrow? If I were a few years younger, and had more soldiers to spare, I'd march east to the Morthal Barrow and deal with the sorceress nonsense myself. But I'm not. I don't. And I have other responsibilities. Take this key. It will get you into the barrow.
See that mound? That's the barrow. The entrance will be down below.
Keep back. The barrow is unsafe.
Good
Jarl
quality
Redheart
there.
sent us. What happened here?
Reachman, let's talk if you want details.
Why did you do that? Together! That's the end of that tale.
A meager harvest. This grave reliquary must be moved to a fruitful field. Protect the witch pike. Do not let them destroy it.
That's done. Let's tell the Jarl what happened here. If I never have to enter another barrow, it will be too soon.
And then Mog threw up all over the Sword Thane's boots.
Ha! This orc friend of yours sounds... Ah, your companions return. Well, friend of Svanna, are you as good as your word? Tell me what you discovered at the Mortal Barrow. A harrow storm. Like the thing the princess was telling me about? The thing that destroyed Kilcreath? Gods! A pox on the Reach and its barbarian horde! What else? What about the Reachmen in the Barrow? Disappointing, but not unexpected. Reach witches are a tricky lot. Still, you have my thanks. In the meantime, Hjalmar shall prepare for war. We may not have a defense against the harrow storms, but we can be ready to attack once we have a target.
With you and Lyris's help, we've gained the trust of Jarl Redhorn. My father respects the Jarl. That will go a long way in convincing the High King to take the Coven's threat seriously. Now we need to do the same thing at Carthald. Jarl Ulfwen rules the Hold, which was established to provide a defensible border against the Reach. If any of the Western Holds can deal with this threat, it's Carthald. But first, I have one more thing to discuss with Jarl Redhorn. Jarl Redhorn, prepare your forces as you say. But we need you in solitude.
Wolves of ice and bone attacked Brune, my lady, and he saw ghosts.
Ghosts? Nonsense. Get him to the inn and I'll do what I can.
Come on, let's warm you up.
They tore each other apart, right in front of me.
Stay inside. Stick together. We'll take care of this. These people, they're from Carthwatch. They might be all that's left of the town. They say it was a storm. Powerful. Devastating. It engulfed the entire town. It had to be a harrow storm. That's the only explanation. There could be other survivors. Maybe even Jarl Ulfwen. We need to make a search. Let's hurry. Every second we waste could be the difference between life or death.
You escaped the barrow? No matter. This time we'll harvest all of the green reliquaries. Too bad you arrived so late. Your life energy would fit perfectly in my reliquary. They come. Protect the Grey Reliquary with your lives!
I need a moment. Let's talk over there. Gods, did all this death serve some dark purpose? Sorry. Guess I'm not completely used to the fighting and all. That urn, though. The Grey Reliquary. The witch was adamant about protecting it, gathering it up. She said something about our life energy. Oh, gods, I think I know what they're doing. Remember what the witch said as we approached the town. This time we'll harvest all the Grey Reliquaries, she said. That our life energy would have fit perfectly in the urns. I think the Harrow Storm steals life energy and puts it in the reliquaries. If the Jarl is still alive, she can take care of herself for a while longer. The witch hasn't gathered all the reliquaries yet. I say we get to them first and destroy them. I won't let these bastards profit off the destruction of Carthwatch.
We're in this together!
Gondor was with us in that fight. Breaking these things won't bring my people back. But the same goes for the Grey Host.
You could not stop the Hero Storm, and you cannot stop me.
That's done. Now let's check on the Jarl. Her hall is right up the hill.
Stay back. Don't make me... Oh, you're not one of the witches or their monsters. I thought this was the end for me. I barely have the strength left to conjure a light breeze. Wait a moment. Is that Princess Svanna? I'm Magister Fidelia. I serve Jarl Ulfwen as her court mage. I've been fending off witches, vampires, and these crazed villagers since the chaos started. There was a storm, definitely magical in nature. It turned our own people against us. I'm not sure. I sent the Jarl into the cellar when the storm began, when I still thought it was just a bad storm. Please, go downstairs. Make sure the Jarl is safe. Cartold would... The cellar. Jarl Ulfwen is in the cellar. Make sure that she's all right.
Jarl Ulfwen! No! I need to get some air. Please, recover the crown of Cartold. I can't make it down here. I'm sorry, Fidelia. Jarl Ulfwen, she's...
That's the Carthold crown. Jarl Ulfwen's gone, then? I failed her. Harrowstorm? Is that what you call what happened here? Why I didn't turn into a monster is a mystery... Wait. The Hold soldiers clashed with Reachman scouts a few days ago. They brought back these medallions the scouts were wearing. Yes. I was preparing to study the enchantments I detected upon it when the Harrowstorm struck. I guess I slipped it into my pocket without really thinking about it. Could this be some sort of protection against the storm?
Garthwatch is gone. No people, no Jarl. The seat of the entire hold. Wiped out. Just like that. I have to get my father to take action!
I need to get back to the Eversnow and gather the survivors. Take them to Solitude, where they'll be safe. At least as safe as we can make them. Then I have to have a serious talk with my father. I'll make him listen to me, damn it, no matter what! Return to Solitude. Find Lyris and meet me in the Blue Palace. I have a room upstairs that we can use. We need to come up with a plan. Something that will help me convince my father to act.
Come on, you brainless cur! This way!
They're worse than drunkards after the mead hall closes.
Shh! Don't mock the cursed! You'll call a hex down upon us!
Glad to see you're alive and well. I was getting worried with all the Herod they've been bringing into the city. They've been taking them to the Temple of the Divines in Castle Dower. I suppose it's really the only place to care for them in their condition. Jarl Redharn gave him an earful the moment we entered the Blue Palace. Nord politics. It's a wonder to behold. One step removed from a barroom brawl. I'm disappointed they didn't start slugging each other, but it worked out in the end. Damn it. I was afraid of that. We're running out of time and we still don't fully understand what we're facing out there. Hey, where's the princess? Tell me you didn't lose Svanna in Carthwatch.
Lyris is so intimidating. How can you stay so calm around someone so powerful?
Svanna, I know, would leave all this bother behind. Come back to the troll and let the royalty deal with this.
I am the royalty, Mog. It's time I started acting like it. Welcome to the princess's chamber, my friend. I don't remember the last time I spent more than a few moments in here. Anyway, Jarl Redharn and Magister Fridelia are here, giving my father an earful. Thanks for helping me at the holds. No, but we saved Morthal, and stopped the Coven from getting the Grey Reliquaries at Carthwatch. And we brought the hold leaders here. All of that matters. Take this, my royal allowance. I was going to buy wine, but you can make better use of it. We return to find that my father is finally doing something about the Coven threat. But it's not enough. Extra patrols and rounding up the Herald is all well and good. But what we really need is a defense against the Harrow Storms. Unfortunately, we've only recovered a few of the medallions. And Magister Fridelia hasn't determined what enchantment the medallions use to provide their protection. We need another solution. Right, Lyris mentioned that. Coincidentally, a courier delivered a message for you from Dusktown. I never heard of the place, but she said it was sent by someone named Fenorian. Is that your scholar? Read the message and let's see if he'll help us. Take the message from the table, then see if you can convince Fenorian to join us. Maybe with his help we can devise a defense against the storms. I'll stay here and continue to annoy my father until he gives this threat the attention it deserves. You forget that I have help now. My father might be able to ignore me, but he'll have a harder time dismissing a Jarl and the court mage. It's funny. I don't care about his approval, but I'd like to earn his respect. With Mother gone, we're both going to have to work harder to keep our kingdom running. It will be easier if we find a way to get along.
Oh, nice. What did you find?
Watch your back.
What an exciting case! I simply must write down this new development.
Phoebe, focus on the task at hand. There will be
Those new arrivals, they didn't stop in Dusktown. Went straight for those dwarven ruins.
Hey, partner. Glad I found you. Now let's get Fen and return to the Blue Palace. Fen, you in here? Let's look around. Fen never struck me as a messy person. Could there have been a struggle here? Burnt papers. Someone was trying to hide something. Burnt journal pages, Fen's flask, and a strange old key. All found among clear signs of a struggle. But other than what's in the flask, we didn't see any blood. That means Fen was probably taken alive. The key looks dwarven to me, and the notes mention a dwarven tower. They could be connected. The notes also indicate that Fen was going to meet with someone named Edyar east of the Dusktown Bridge. You start there and I'll check with the locals. We have no idea who Edyar is, or who took Fen for that matter. It could be this Ashen Lord we heard mentioned, or maybe the Icereach Coven. The question is, why take Fen at all? Why not just kill him? Does he have information they need?
Is Lyris seeing someone that you know of? You know what? Don't answer that. Forget I asked. Where were we going next? could be helpful.
Sod off. This is my patch of ground. You don't listen too well, do you? All right. Talk fast and tell me why I shouldn't rip out your throat. The silk shirt kept notes? Of course he did. And where is Fenorian? He's late, and he still hasn't compensated me for the information I gave him. I need that key! Missing? Probably taken by the same bastard that has my packmates, Exarch Zingalis. Fenorian said he could provide a key to unlock their chains, if I told him about the experiments performed on us. If you can get that key, I'll tell you more. Hircine's fetid breath, that's it! Look, I managed to escape from Zingalis' tower, but my packmates are still chained up in the Lightless Hollow. Use that key to set them free. Then, I'll tell you how to find Fenorian. The Lightless Hollow lies to the east, and Hircine's claws. Who is that tall woman?
Stand down. I'm a friend. None of the locals really wanted to talk. One or two admitted to seeing Fen, but no one witnessed any kind of disturbance at his lodgings. At least, no one saw anything they were willing to tell me about. Is this Edyar? Does he know anything? Why is everything so complicated in this part of Skyrim? Alright, so tell me, what did Fen agree to do for our half-naked friend over there? Packmates? Edyar is a werewolf? Pfft, this just keeps getting better and better. So I take it you know...
Save my packmates. I'll meet you south of the camp.
That was it, right? Sometimes it's hard
Damn
to tell.
vampires, working us like dogs. Finally. Thank you, stranger.
I'm working as fast as I can, you blood-sucking bastards! Hircine's claws. I thought I'd be digging forever. Thanks.
You don't smell like a grey host. Run before they catch you too. You set me free. I owe you one.
We should not linger, Edyar. The Grey Host could find us at any moment.
Head to the surface. I need to fulfill my end of our bargain. You actually did it. You freed my pack. Now it's my turn. If Exarch Zingalis took Fenorian, and I'm pretty sure he did, you'll find them both in the ruined Dwarven Tower. It's difficult to get inside if you're not a vampire, but I know a way. Like I said, Zingalis' helper made a mistake. Forgot to fasten my chains after one of my tortures. I slipped away, crawled along some pipes, and fell into a chamber with one of those dwarven lifts. There was also a door, the one behind me. It'll get you close. There's a big door that leads into Zingalis' lair, but it's sealed. You need to figure out the dwarven mechanism to open it. Then make your way to the experimentation chamber. That's probably where he's keeping Fenorian. The door's over here. Hurry, before they spot us.
definitely dwarven. Watch out for traps. That must be the door you mentioned. Sealed tight. No lock. Not even a handle. I don't suppose the werewolf told you how to open it, did he? The panels are all different. I wonder what they mean. The gear started moving. You must be doing something right. Something turned on. Keep going. That sounded promising. Let's try the door. This chamber's... Looks like Edyar was telling the truth. They were experimenting on the... Why does everything connected to vampires involve blood? That was Fen. We need to keep moving.
It fights against its nature, Rada al-Saran. A weaker breed.
More of that nether news. Turn off those sprayers and you'll never get across this chamber. Seems to be on the right track. The mist from that sprayer changed. Keep going.
Sendar see you safely to your rest.
Flash and apply this tool.
We have what we need.
I am eager to see the power of our ultimate Harrow Storm. New test subjects. Just in time. This one is about Spence. I cannot wait to cut open your skull. A shame to waste such vigorous blood. You will do well in my machine. It's too late for me.
Fen's delirious. See if you can free him.
Go. Warn solitude. You should have left me. Go warn solitude. Aksak Singalis and Rada al-Saran talked freely while they tortured me. They're planning some sort of assault on solitude. A massive Harrow Storm. I need blood. But I won't drink from an unwilling person. In this state, even with a willing participant, I don't trust my restraint. My flask. Thank you, my friend.
Rada al-Siran is the one they call the Ashen Lord, leader of the Grey Host. He and Singalis often went into the nearby sanctum to talk. I heard a few words. Map, plan. But I couldn't make out the rest. Yes. Once I take a long drink from my flask, I'll join you.
Take your time. You've been through a lot.
They did whatever they wanted. I couldn't stop them. Exarch Singalis was insane.
So, partner, what did you find?
Genius. If he kept records, they'll be in here.
We set out to find Fen and bring him back to Solitude. Along the way, we learned more about our true enemy, killed one of their leaders, and acquired some valuable intelligence. That's a victory in my book. Not that I can think of. I'll make sure that Fen makes it to the Blue Palace. We'll meet you there. And don't forget that map and communique.
Is Lyris seeing
Come
someone?
on, Fen.
That you
Princess
know of?
Vana herself
You know
requested
what?
your presence
Don't
at the
answer
Blue
that.
Palace.
Forget I asked.
I don't believe I'm very good company right now.
Come on, Fen. We'll help you through this.
It's true. The Reach attacked Morthal. The Jarl's soldiers put a stop to it, as I understand.
That's nothing.
You are welcome here, Fenorian of House Ravenwatch.
I don't know what to say.
You're back! Lyris was just making introductions and was about to give her report. Why don't you tell me what happened? By all the Mead and Sovngarde, it's good to see you and the others. Your vampire scholar seems out of sorts, but I'm glad to make his acquaintance. Lyris tells me you ran into a bit of trouble. Care to explain? And I can't wait to hear all the details. In the meantime, let's take a look at what you found and try to devise a plan. Lyris didn't say much, but she indicated that time is short. Here, take this. You deserve a lot more, but it's all I can spare. The information you brought back from Blackreach might give us a fighting chance. Let's put our heads together and figure out how to use what you learned. My father be damned! The Grey Host? Where have I heard that name? Meanwhile, my father rounded up the Herald and moved his soldiers to the outer walls. Then he ordered the Quartermaster to stockpile Castle Dower. He's preparing Solitude to withstand a long siege. That might work against a mob of Reachmen, but thick walls can't stop a Herostorm. Any war we try to wage will be over before it starts if we don't find a way to stop them. Fen knows more about the storms than anyone. See what he suggests. Talk to Fen. If he has any bright ideas, I'd love to hear them. Magister Fridelia has been studying the Ice Reach Coven medallion, but she hasn't had a lot of success. She seems even less confident about reproducing their protective enchantment now.
It's all right. I'm ready to help. I know what you need me to do. Put my experience behind me. Focus on the mission, just like Verandis taught me. Could you show me the research you recovered from Exarch Singalis' laboratory? These notes prove my theory. Netherroot is the key component of the Harrowstorm ritual. It's like a poison for the soul. Weakens the bonds to the body so it can be pulled free. They're harvesting life energy from anyone caught in the storms. I'm guessing, but it may have something to do with those stone husks we saw. Remember how the werewolf emerged from one? And look at the mixture you retrieved. It isn't like the residue we recovered from the witch pike. It's more concentrated. That's certainly what Singolus's notes imply. Despite how it looks, a plan is formulating in my mind. I think I can create an elixir, but I'll need more of this refined netherroot brew. And we need to solve the mystery of the Coven medallions. I know what you need me to do. Put my experience behind me. Focus on the mission, just like Verandis taught me. Could you show me the research you recovered from Exarch Singolus's laboratory?
See those marks? Grey host sites that correspond to the communique we found. I know a commander's map when I see one. Each of those marks matches a location mentioned in the communique from Rada al-Saran, the leader of the Grey Host. I can already see where we need to go. That mark on the northwest coast, that's an Ice Reach Coven camp. The communique mentioned needing more medallions. Odds are, they come from there. And here, a Midland camp between Dragonbridge and Morthal. It's a staging ground for the Harrowstorms. More than likely. Those two locations should provide what Fen needs to finish his elixir. We can't bet everything on that, though. The communique mentions a warlord's camp in Blackreach. Maybe we can learn more about their ultimate plan there. Svanna, Fen, and I will divvy up the camps and scout ahead. Fen should investigate the coastal camp. I'll take the Midlands camp. That leaves Svanna with Blackreach. Meet up with each of us when you're ready. Then we'll hit each camp in turn.
Lyris is so intimidating. How can you stay so calm around someone so powerful?
Another dead soldier and no sign of our supplies.
Just arrived. Don't worry, I found something to keep me occupied. A bold move setting up camp in the midst of the Western Holds. I'll say this for the Grey Host. They aren't afraid to draw attention to themselves. I learned a few things while I was waiting for you to show up. It's just as we thought. The Grey Host is using this camp as a supply depot for their raids across the countryside. I saw stacks of witch pikes, rows of reliquaries, and jars of what I assume is the refined netherroot brew. Right. And I heard the camp leader, a nasty creature named Sableye, tell his troops to make sure to use the new supply that just arrived from Blackreach. Let's go grab a jar or two. A fight? You insist. No jars in this cart. Let's try another one. Not this card either. I hope we didn't miss it.
Stop them, my packmates. I'll get this brew to the witches.
Sableye has the brew. Let's find him before he gets away.
You know what the Grey Host does with spies? We eat them.
Luck was with us. If we had reached this camp even a few moments later, Sableye would have gotten away with the netherroot brew. After all this trouble, Fen better be able to use it to make his elixir. I'll take the jar of refined netherroot brew to Solitude. We'll meet up in Svanna's chambers when everyone gets back from their missions. I hope they're all right. Fen has proven himself, especially after what happened in Blackreach. House Ravenwatch, they're unusual as far as bloodsuckers go. As for Svanna, she's braver than I originally thought. Anyway, meet me in Solitude after you finish up.
Lyris was right. This camp is crawling with the Ice Reach Coven. And they're definitely producing the medallions here. I was even able to slip away with one. We need to get closer, though. There's more to figuring out this magic than just watching from afar. I need to know exactly how they go about creating them. With your help, we can learn everything about that here in this camp. It's a landing site for the boats coming from the island of Ice Reach. Plus, they're collecting something here that goes into the process of creating the medallions. If you can get me to the center of the camp, I can learn what that is. Determining how they create these medallions will be an enormous help. The Grey Host has accelerated their plans. They need more medallions for a reason. A big harrow storm is coming. We need to be ready.
Get back, fiends!
Well, we've both been over the headstones with a fine-toothed comb. If we can determine why the Coven dug up these particular bodies, it will tell us something about how the medallions were enchanted. Of course, compare notes and look for commonalities. You have the makings of a fine scholar, my friend. Now, let's see. I noticed there were a mix of different races buried here. They weren't all Nords. Anything strike you about the departed? They did. Tell me more. Of course. Why didn't I see that? The headstones on the exhumed graves all mentioned that the person was old when they died. Let me think. Some necrotic spells require the remains of the elderly. Something to do with the natural decay.
Wait for me, I got little legs!
Looking forward to seeing what you make with that. Oh.
came here to learn what the Grey Host has planned, and what did I find? Good citizens of the Holds, afflicted by the Harrow storms and kept prisoner for some ungodly purpose. No matter how many I set free, the Herald will not leave this place. That's all I've been doing, and trying to get these afflicted people to leave this place. The Herald, the storm robs them of their will, their minds. I wasn't able to slip deeper into the camp, though. Agreed. There appear to be a number of Grey Host warlords in the camp, so discovering their plans should be possible. We need to be careful, though. I don't want us to wind up like the Herald, serving as food for these bastards. Messages have been coming and going since I arrived. I've heard the name Rada al-Saran, the Ashen Lord, spoken in hushed and revered tones. His name was on the communique you found, remember? We need to get down there and see what else we can learn. Hiding, building their forces, digging, undermining. That's the correct term, I think. Plus, they're collecting the Herald, herding them like cattle. It's monstrous what they're doing to these poor people. There, on the left. Let's listen in.
Exarch Zingalis has fallen. I have never seen Rada el-Saran, our Ashen Lord, so filled with sorrow. Or such rage.
Does the loss of the Exarch alter our plans?
Not in the least. The strike on Solitude will occur as planned after Exarch Ulfra tests the improved ritual in the Undergrove.
An attack on Solitude? We need to move quickly.
Another find for your pack. Battle we can walk away from, eh?
I left the orders in my tent, but the Ashen Lord was clear. We need more Netherroot. See to the Undergrove immediately.
As you command, Pintock.
The Undergrove? That sounds important. The Grey Host definitely has something big planned. Let's search the tents for a copy of those orders. That's what we were looking for. Let's talk over there. Orders from Rada al-Saran. His words sent a chill down my spine. Their plan for Solitude? It might even be more dreadful than an all-out attack. We need to get back and determine the exact location of this Undergrove place. You saw what happened at Kilcreath and Carthwatch. Whatever they have planned for Solitude, it sounds a whole lot worse. I wish we knew more about this Rada al-Saran and what drives him. A family of monsters? Who could imagine vampires and werewolves working together? Let alone talking about one another like brothers and sisters. It's not natural. I'm glad I got to look around Blackreach, but I can't wait to see the sun and sky again. No matter how big these caverns are, it still feels like we're buried alive down here.
You found death. You found death.
God dang it, Bobby! God dang it, Bobby!
Attention, citizens. Nuclear strike imminent. Please exit the area at your earliest convenience. Thank you for your cooperation.
God dang it, Bobby!
So, do we have a way to defend against the Harrow Storms, or what?
The elixir should do what we need, provided neither Fen nor I made any miscalculations.
Yolen, don't be so negative. The elixir will work. You'll see. Oh, good. You're back. Mjolin and I have been discussing the various ways to turn what we've got into a protective elixir. I'm hesitant to get too excited, but I think we've figured out how to defend against the Harrow Storms. The Grey Host uses an unstable mix of alchemy and sorcery to create the Harrow Storms. An arcane ritual and the Netherroot brew focus the power of each Harrow Storm through the prepared witch pikes. Ingenious, but fully exploitable. We can use the refined brew as the basis of our elixir. Now that we understand how the Harrow Storms are created, we can use those same components to replicate the medallion's protective properties. We just need to gather the necessary components. Svana's associate, Mog, will procure most of the supplies I need, but there's one final ingredient required. For various reasons, I can't simply walk into the Hall of the Dead and claim it myself. I need you to acquire Arkay's sacred oil.
You'll need my help. I'll meet you at the Hall of the Dead. Mog, put away the tankard and get the supplies Fen requires.
Yes, your royal ladiness. I'm keeping the tankard.
Gods, more refugees arrive by the hour. Why does Svargrim hesitate?
The High King issues...
Princess Vana, what can I do for you, your highness?
Listen to my friend, High Priest. We need your help.
I'm surprised to see the princess here. As you can see, the influx of refugees has made this place much more hectic than usual. Is there something I can do for Princess Svana? Sacred oil? Strange. That's the second time today someone has come seeking Arkay's anointing balm. Sword Thane Athlet arrived with an edict from the king. Demanded our entire supply. How we're to consecrate the dead without it, I have no idea. The Sword Thane wouldn't say. He just mentioned that the High King needed it to defend Solitude. I'm sorry I can't comply with the princess's request. Things are hard enough that these refugees must take shelter here among the dead. The Sword Thane took the oil to Castle Dower. That's where all the supplies for a siege are gathered during periods of strife. I pray that High King Svargrim receives the patience and wisdom required to see us through this crisis.
Hold! Castle Dower is... Princess Svana.
Sword Thane, our business is urgent. My friend will explain.
I don't have time for the princess's proclivities right now. The High King... We barely keep up with the multitude of tasks, so speak quickly and let me get back to it. My orders from the High King were clear. Stockpile the entire supply of sacred oil in the Temple of the Divines here within the confines of Castle Dower. What in Shore's name does the princess need with holy oil anyway? Protection? Truly? The Herald already outnumber my soldiers, and more arrive every day. Still, giving you the oil would violate the High King's edict. I suppose if I happened to look the other way for a moment, I wouldn't notice if a flask disappears.
A single flask? Then we'll have to make do. Let's get it back to...
Sword Thane, why his work? I gave strict orders, yet my daughter freely enters the castle grounds. What do they want, Sword Thane?
They,
We came to offer our assistance, Father. Sword Thane, how can we help?
Athlet has everything well in hand, child. Despite your intentions, you would only hinder our efforts. Go! The Sword Thane doesn't
The
need
guild
my
has
daughter
need of you,
or her
comrade.
wastrel underfoot.
Once it's ready, I'll test the elixir.
As you say, Lyris. Ah, here they come now. You have the sacred oil? Add it to the cauldron. Yes, a perfect fusion. It's ready to be tested. Come, let's talk. With the addition of the sacred oil, the elixir is complete. Before we produce enough to distribute to the people of Western Skyrim, we need to test it. I'm confident of my work, but we're dealing with powerful forces here. We can't wait for the next Harrowstorm to strike, but what you and Svanna learned in Blackreach might help. You heard that Exarch Ulfra was testing Harrowstorm rituals in a place called the Undergrove. We'll go there and let Lyris drink the elixir. During my explorations of Blackreach, I came across an ancient burial site, a place called the Midnight Barrow. This undergrove must be inside those ruins. Once there, you and Svanna keep watch from a safe distance, while Lyris steps into the storm. From what I could tell, the Midnight Barrow sank into Blackreach in the distant past. Somewhere in its chambers, we'll find the undergrove. The ruined barrow is in the Lightless Hollow, in the northwest portion of the cavern. We'll meet you there.
Feels like where I belong.
Stendarr, protect us from harm.
Please don't make me do this.
You and Fen stay put until we clear a path to the Undergrove.
Fine. Just don't take all day.
This is it. Look lively and let's get on with it.
On my honor. I do believe we're good at this.
No need. We're here.
The princess insisted.
We followed at a safe distance and only advanced after we cleared the way. From this point on, we stay together. And that's an order.
Yes. What she said.
Shining steel!
Now, let's enter the Undergrove. We need to find where they're experimenting with the Harrow Storms.
You
honor me with your presence, my king.
Grey Host, stay quiet.
This Harrow storm must be the biggest we have ever wrought, my sister-in-arms.
Have we heard from Solitude? Is everything in place?
I have been assured the city is ripe for harvest.
Certainly not. The holds are counting on us. Besides, we might be able to end this threat right here and now.
Dares intrude? You. The murderers who killed our beloved Singalis.
And you're about to join him.
Impudent mortal! You will pay for your crime. Now for the rest of these curs.
Allow me the honor of spilling their blood.
Very well, sweet sister. Join me in greymoor when the task is done.
Let this harrow storm lay the flesh from your bones!
We need to leave. Svanna, no!
See to live, son. And pray your elixir works.
Protect her. She needs time for the elixir to do its job.
Kill my brother! For that, you die!
There are none left to stand against us.
Worked. I think it worked. I stood in a harrow storm and nothing happened. Fenn's elixir is a success. And we took out another one of the Grey Host leaders. We've done good, my friend. Never better. We need to create as much of the elixir as possible and distribute it throughout Solitude before Rada al-Saran's massive harrow storm hits. I also want to find out who in the city is helping him. Let's meet back at the Blue Palace. Once my father understands that we have a way to protect against the harrow storms, he'll have to take us seriously. Let's get back to the city as fast as we can.
About time I found someone.
Who's this?
Listen to your daughter, Svargrim. We need to do something.
Don't test me, Redharn. I know exactly what I need to do. Our enemies circle ever closer, and now even my daughter turns against me. What's next? Will my beloved wife return to accuse me of some heinous crime? Well, get to it. Tell me about Svanna's miraculous elixir before I have the lot of you tossed out. You represent my most hated enemy, and expect me to believe a word you say? Even if you speak true, worms have found purchase in the wood and seek to rot my kingdom from within. I will not let Solitude and the Western Holds fall. Trust Svanna. Perhaps. No. No! Your honeyed words are but echoes of my most obstinate foes. You offer a miracle with one hand, while holding a poison dagger in the other. Help! I need no help from the likes of you.
Don't be a fool, father. This elixir will save our people.
I didn't think you had it in you, daughter. You have actually surpassed my expectations, more's the pity. And I'll hear no more talk of this miracle elixir.
Father!
The Grey Host is my true ally. Once the Harrow Storm engulfs Solitude, my kingdom will endure for all eternity.
I should have sensed it. Svargrim's a vampire.
Svanna.
Not now, dearest. I need to think about this.
Svargrim's a bastard, but King Yoren believed he had the best interest of his people at heart. Obviously, something changed. And with Solitude targeted for a massive Harrow Storm, things have gotten more complicated. Not everything is as grim as it appears. We did create an elixir. That's our best chance of protecting the people from the Harrow Storm. We just need to distribute it. In the meantime, take this. It may not seem like much, but you earned it.
There is so intimidating. How can you stay so calm around someone so powerful?
My father, working with the Grey Host. How long has he been a part of this? Did he have a hand in Mother's death? And what has he told them? It's almost too much to bear. And then there's the Harrow Storm. My friend, I don't know what to do. You're right. I know you're right. It's just... he's my father. No. I have to focus. There's a Harrow Storm coming. We have to save the city. That's what's important right now. I'm not sure we can. But we can make more of Fenn's elixir. Get it into the hands of the people. We need more of Arkay's sacred oil, though. We'll have to take it from the supply stockpiled at the Temple of the Divines.
They've taken it! By the gods, it's fallen!
Fallen? What are you talking about?
The Grey Host. They came out of nowhere, captured the temple and the Tower of the Wolf. We're locked out!
Then the sacred oil.
Damn it all! I need to get down there!
Follow him! Now, soldier, tell me exactly what happened.
Done. The Grey Host has found a foothold. Now the city is lost.
Not yet, it isn't. On your feet, Sword Thane. We have work to do.
Yes, Princess Svanna. I apologize for that display. Tell the princess... tell her it won't happen again. You need to understand. I pledged my sword and my soul to the High King. We all did. And he betrayed us. Nothing good, I'm sure. The Grey Host appeared out of nowhere and cut down my soldiers. Only a handful were able to escape before they sealed the gates. Svargrim made us fortify the entryways. The bastard knew he'd lock us out. Not that I can think of, but what does it matter? Svargrim brought the Grey Host down upon us. He's bringing a Harrow Storm. We need to evacuate the city while there's still time. Some of us will survive if we flee now.
That's unacceptable, Sword Thane. If we can't get the sacred oil to make more elixir, then we have to stop the Harrow Storm.
Princess, we've kept watch. There aren't any witch pikes around the city.
Then you missed something. They needed the witch pikes for every other Harrow Storm they summoned.
Of course. Blackreach! The Grey Host must have gained access to the temple from beneath the city.
They could easily hide the witch pikes underneath our feet.
We know the Grey Host has been using Blackreach to clandestinely move around Western Skyrim. Why not launch their attacks from there?
Then we're going back to Blackreach. If the witch pikes are there, we'll destroy them.
Yoren sent me with a warning for Solitude. Now I'm about to march into the starless depths of Blackreach to try to avert a massacre. How do I keep getting myself into these kinds of situations? I thought you knew me better than that. Taking on the impossible challenge, beating the unbeatable foe. This is what I'm good at. So yes, I do have to do this. And we're going to win Svargrim. To cast his lot with the Grey Host, become a vampire, threaten his own people with a Harrow Storm. It's madness. One thing's for certain, we have to stop him. One step at a time. First we make our way down into Blackreach. Then we find the ritual site. It must be right beneath the city. We smash witch pikes and kill as many Grey Host bastards as possible. After that, we pray to Kyne and hope for the best.
My father, a vampire. He sat on his throne, pretended to mourn for my mother, and said he had a plan. But all the while he was preparing the city for the Grey Host. He's worse than a monster. He's a traitor and a liar. I know. It's just... Look, we were never close. Not really. But he's my father. My king. What about you? Could you do it? Could you confront and maybe even kill one of your parents? An honest answer. And so much like my own. But does my indecision put the people I'm sworn to protect in even more jeopardy? I need to think about that. I'm going to do whatever I can to stop the Harrow Storm and save Solitude and its people. After that, we decide what needs to be done about Svargrim.
As a junior member of House Ravenwatch, I never expected to be in the thick of things like this. I have to say, it's a tad overwhelming. Am I looking forward to going back to where Singolis experimented on me? Not even remotely. But I want to see this through to the end. I need to. The Grey Host can't summon the Harrow Storm without performing their ritual. And we know that requires witch pikes, so there's that. Plus the usual assortment of coven witches, vampires, and werewolves, I suppose. Nothing we can't handle, right? I had hoped to secure the sacred oil, and make enough elixir to distribute throughout the city. But we're running out of time. Our best bet now is to find the ritual site beneath Solitude, and stop the Harrow Storm before it's unleashed. You're absolutely right. Especially after we found evidence of undermining down there. All I can say is that we were focused on other things. Let's go and save the city now, all right?
That's ominous. And, unless I miss my guess, it's directly under Solitude. That's our target. The ritual site must be somewhere inside that horrid structure. I scouted the area before you arrived. It's full of Grey Host forces. And from what I could tell, Svargrim and Rada al-Saran are both inside. Not so fast. If we rush down as a group, they'll be on us like a snow bear on a horker. You go ahead. Try to cross the bridge to the main entrance. It's well guarded, but you're more than capable. Or you could try the alternative. There's a sluice gate in the outer courtyard, tucked away against the keep's eastern wall. The few patrols in that area can be avoided if you're stealthy. Opening the gate requires a key, but that should be simple enough to find. You know your strengths and weaknesses better than I do. Play to those. But whichever path you decide, move quickly. We need to find the ritual site and deal with the witch pikes before they unleash the Harrowstorm on the city. Cross the bridge, or use the sluice gate to get into the inner courtyard. Then find the keep's side entrance, east of the main stairs. I'll stay with Svanna and Fenn. Make sure they don't get themselves killed. We'll meet you inside as soon as we can.
Is Lyris seeing someone that you know of? You know what? Don't answer that. Forget I asked. Where were we going next? That's the end of that tale.
Nice of you to join us.
I don't understand. What am I supposed to do with these flasks?
If we run into trouble, throw one of them at...
Split up and find the ritual site. We need to disrupt it.
Split up? I suppose that makes sense. I'll go with our friend here. Hello. This looks important. This book? I recognize the handwriting. It's Singallus's. It's more of his research. Harrowstorms, witch pikes, netherroot brew. How it all works together for the benefit of the Grey Host. This might be something. I just need to skim through these assumptions and incantations. What's this? Instructions on the placement of runes throughout greymoor. All the way to... My gods! This entire tower! It's a witch pike! The magic I sensed earlier. It was familiar because it's the same magic used in the Harrowstorm rituals. Don't you see? This entire keep is the ritual site. They turned the tower into a witch pike. But at the scale, it's inconceivable. I'm not sure we can destroy this tower. We need to keep going. Find a way to disrupt the ritual. But I think I understand what they're doing. Zingallus found a way to release the Grey Host from Cold Harbor by using the Harrowstorms. Lyris, Svanna, I think this entire tower functions as a witch pike.
What? Fenn, how is that even possible?
Ah! The energy! It burns!
That's my father! This way!
You and Fenn take these stairs. Svanna and I will go this way.
Look! A grey reliquary. It's massive. Just like the storm they plan to unleash on the city. Svargrim and Rada al-Saran.
Lyris, we found them.
Good. This whole place, the Grey Host is preparing to go to war.
And so the thorns arrive once more to prick my thumbs.
A barrier.
And Rada al-Saran?
Your persistence begins to annoy me, mortal. You killed my beloved brother and sister, Singalis and Ulfra. I freed them, and you sent them back. Back to the hated Moloch Ball. I will see you suffer for that transgression. As much as it would please me to flay the flesh from your bones, I have more pressing matters to attend to. But know this. As I felt each death, you shall feel it when the Harrow Storm takes every life in solitude. You shall feel it when you fail. Bold words, but futile. Svargrim rises, and the Harrow Storm with him. Once the attunement is finished, they will be unstoppable.
What happened? What did that damn vampire do?
He's merging the power flowing through the keep with Svargrim, giving him control of the Harrow Storm.
We're waking up. Get ready to fight. Keep moving. Don't let them surround us.
I take no pleasure in killing, but I'm glad we're alive and they're not. We weren't able to stop the attunement spell. It's just getting stronger.
That tower. It must lead to the upper levels. I need time to get that door open.
Everyone, protect Fen! Good job. Through the door and to the upper levels now. Hurry!
Now, just...
The attunement is complete, Svargrim. You and greymoor Keep are one.
Power! I am unstoppable!
We need to hurry.
I leave the harrowing of sorrow.
We need to hurry.
Remember your oath.
So high up, but still far beneath the ground. Shining steel!
Hold, friends!
Oh my.
What is it now, Fen?
Oh, nothing. Just don't look down. These tunnels look freshly dug. Harrow fiends. Is that what became of the heralds Sparkle brought to Castle Dower?
Up ahead. That's the temple's undercroft.
Is that Princess Anna?
It's begun.
Look, above the Tower of the Wolf. The storm's only partially formed.
My father's up there. Open the gates and let's go.
But the Harrow fiends below the temple. If they escape into the streets.
You and I will keep that from happening. Take the princess and deal with Svargrim, partner.
Yes. It's the only option. Let's go. I'm with you, my friend. Up. We need to get up the ramp and onto the walls. That's our way to the Tower of the Wolf.
Come to bear witness to my ascension. Dada Al-Saran has given me power beyond anything you can imagine. Behold!
Why would you do this to our people? That was for Mother. My father betrayed everything to aid the Grey Host. With his death, Solitude is saved. It's done. We killed my father and ended the Herostorm. The city still stands. Skyrim still stands. Although the Tower of the Wolf may have been damaged beyond repair. No, of course not. My father was the High King of Western Skyrim. I always thought he had the best interests of our holds and our people in his heart. But there was a darkness there. Jealousy, bitterness. He wanted to control all of Skyrim. For Svargrim, yes, I think it was. As for Rada al-Saran and the Grey Host, I am not entirely sure what they're after. Enough of this. I need to get to work. With my father gone, someone has to pick up the pieces and restore the holds. First, on behalf of Western Skyrim, take this with my thanks. We would have been lost without you. Then, rest. Check on our friends. Injuries must be tended to, buildings repaired. Other wounds will take longer. We'll have more to do soon enough. Whatever Rada al-Saran and the Grey Host were planning, I think the worst is behind us as far as Western Skyrim is concerned. With Svargrim dead, their grip on the holds comes to an end. Not officially. At least I don't think so. I feel like the whole world's crumbling around me. But the city's still standing, so that's something. I'm more worried about our friends. We left Lyris and Fen to hold of a horde of Hero Fiends. Hopefully they were able to hold the courtyard and keep those monsters out of the city. You go on ahead and check on them. I need to collect myself. Solitude needs Princess Svanna now. And I'm not quite ready to be her. Thank you. Help them and anyone else as best you can. I'll do the same. Once you're done with them, I'll find you and we can figure out what to do next.
Tell me truthfully, Lyris. How much of this blood is mine?
Not enough to be worried about. So, is it over? What happened to Svargrim? And where's Svanna? A parent's betrayal cuts deeper than a sword. But Svanna's strong. Stronger than she's been given credit for. And Solitude's going to need that strength in the coming days. If you told me the tavern rat we met at the Lonely Troll would become my choice to lead this land, I'd have called you mad. Then again, my king's a skald, so what do I know? Come on, there's probably something productive we should be doing. Last I heard, Sword Thane Uthlet was gathering everyone he could at the Hall of the Dead. Head over there and see how they weathered the Harrow Storm. I'll take care of securing Castle Dower. As for Fen, you might remind him we need a lot of elixir.
Lyris is so intimidating.
You did it. I shouldn't be surprised. But things were looking rather bleak before the clouds parted. We held the gate as long as we could, but the Harrow Fiends were a flood of claws and teeth. Once they burst through, Lyris cleaved through them like a scythe through wheat. But even she couldn't stem the tide. I'm not really sure. I kind of went wild. Let out my inner beast, as it were. I was rending and slashing. Then Lyris whacked me with the flat of her blade. At least that's the last thing I remember. Not my finest hour, but we survived. The Sword Thane gathered people in the Hall of the Dead. Go check on them while I pull myself together. This whole ordeal has been a lot more strenuous than I'm accustomed to. Then I'll get to work on the elixir and a cure for the Herod.
There's an urgent task for you.
Ha! Good to see you aren't raising mugs with Ismir just yet.
We saw the storm break, but we heard nothing since you departed from Blackreach.
I regret we didn't throw a parade to welcome you back. But I'll cheer enough for 100 souls if you tell me you put that backbiter of a High King to the sword. But what of Svanna? Is she? That's good, but a daughter shouldn't have to kill her own father. Svanna has my support, for whatever that's worth. She's going to need all the help she can get in the days to come. Not until we hold a moot to support her claim, and we need more than a single Jarl for that to occur. If Svanna proves herself as the acting Jarl, they might look past her father's failings and make her the queen, eventually. We can settle the matter of the crown when there's kingdom enough to rule. What remains of the holds are still ravaged by the harrow storms, and I doubt we've seen the last of the Grey Host, for that matter. None good, but none bad either. My wife knows better than anyone how to care for our people. I trust she and my Thane to protect and care for Morthal in my absence.
We seem to have survived, thank the gods. I thought for certain we were all about to witness the end of the world. No thanks to Svargrim, damn his eyes. After you and the princess went off to Blackreach, I gathered whoever we could and made our stand here in the Hall of the Dead. I'm just glad we don't have to be permanent residents. Far fewer than I feared when the storm began. Thanks to you and the princess. With the storm over and the Grey Host driven from Castle Dower, my soldiers will get the city back into shape. As long as no one else attacks us in the meantime.
They're here! They're at the gates!
The Grey Host? I thought we were done with them for now.
I've seen many... I'm working with her.
Stand down, you idiots! We come in peace.
Partner, could really use your knack for diplomacy right now. Speak to the Skull King before we start a war.
Sure save me from fools and prophets. Will no one properly greet a weary traveler? Ah, familiar face. Maybe you can talk some sense into these Western milk drinkers. We're not a damn invasion. We're here to help. Do you know what's going on? So the rumors are true? Svargrim joined the Grey Host? I knew he had ambitions, but to throw away his humanity like that, it's inconceivable. Svargrim once told me that he would die before welcoming me to solitude. I suppose he was right. That's why I sent Lyris here in the first place. I'm not the king of these holds, though. I can't do anything if they refuse my help. Svargrim despised me. He would never accept my aid. But Svanna... here she comes now. Let's see what she has to say.
You know,
We have no
I heard
need
a
of
rumor
help
that the
involves
Skald King
welcoming
is
your
seeing
soldiers
someone.
within our walls.
They must be quite a person
My
to stand up
walls,
to his
Jarl.
personality.
My father may have been willing to slap aside a helping hand, but I'm not. Permit me. Thank you. For holding the line, I mean. I'm ready to do what I should have done a long time ago. To do what my father never could. I'll speak with the Skald King. There's one more thing I'd like you to do while I entertain our guests. We saved Solitude, but our war with the Grey Host is far from over. We need Fenn's elixir more than ever. With that, and King Yoren's help, we might just push these monsters back into their grave for good. Check on Fenn's progress, please. That depends on Fenn. If there's anything standing in his way, let me know, and I'll do everything in my power to get him what he needs.
Ingenious. A rare thing to find an elf with the makings of a clever woman.
Despite what my kin might proclaim, it's not all in the blood. Ah, good, you're here. We've made a breakthrough. I was just discussing a theory with Mjolnir, and it seems like we're very close to turning this elixir into a true restorative. A cure. Singolis's research on the nether root showed me just how it weakens the connection between a body and soul. Thus far, I've been able to inure a person to the root, but now I'm certain I can use that knowledge to heal those weakened bonds. Well, it is just a theory at this point. There's a lot more testing and experimentation to be done before we can produce a viable antidote. Weeks, optimistically? I know. We can't simply put things on hold. Mjolnir and I have a batch brewing right now, and materials to keep producing for another day. Ingrid's promised us a steady supply of Arcase oil, but that's not our limiting factor. We know enough about Singolis's refinement processes to replicate his methods, but we still need a source of netherroot to do so. Tell Svanna that if she can keep us supplied, we can produce enough elixir for all the holds in a matter of weeks.
I was hoping you'd return before we began. Tell me you've got good news. I'll feel a lot better delivering a speech about healing and hope, knowing that we're on the road to recovery. What did Fen have to say about the elixir? Not the best news, but I'll take it. So long as we have enough to protect our soldiers, we have a fighting chance against the Grey Host. I'll go to the Undergrove myself, if that's what it takes. Now that would be cause for celebration. If he can really bring back even a fraction of those we lost to the Herostorms, I'm willing to try. That's all I needed to hear. We should begin the ceremony before the crowd grows more restless. Nothing fancy, just a traditional Nord wake. To mourn and celebrate those we've lost, and cherish the lives we still have. I'd like you to join us. None of us would be here to sing dirges for the dead or celebrate the living if not for you. I certainly wouldn't be here, ready to lead my hold. You've supported me since I started down this path. I'm honored to have you here at the end. Sons and daughters of Skyrim, we have the honor today of remembering the dead.
Honor to the fallen!
Sons and daughters of Skyrim, our trials were fierce, but we are still here.
We stand and we remain!
Now, we raise our voices to tell Sovngarde of the coming of the worthy dead, and to tell the world that the Nords are still here! We are still standing!
The fallen now march home to hallowed halls, to join our ancestors in boundless drink and song and brawls. Let sound the horns, let peal the bells, let loose the ancient hymn. We will remain until time ends, we children of Skyrim.